we're seeing examples of what happens when you dance with the devil play out on Capitol Hill today. Do you really think, removing Donald Trump from it, that Senate Republicans would vote against an investigation into the attack on the Capitol? No, of course not. Of course they want to get to the bottom of it deep down. But they danced with the devil. Donald Trump, in this case, in this metaphor, is the devil, and the devil doesn't want him to. Just one other thing, that's relevant. What you're saying right now is relevant because Congressman Brian Mast, a Republican from Florida, who lost his legs, by the way, fighting for democracy abroad, although I don't know about his commitment to it here in the United States. What a moment in history. We have all been waiting on the edges of our seats since Tuesday. It is the end of a tumultuous presidency, a time of some accomplishments, no question, a time where many Americans throughout the country and in shuttered steel towns and in rural America, they felt, for the first time, they felt heard, which is important, but it is also, Wolf, it has also been a time of extreme divisions. Many of the divisions caused and exacerbated by President Trump himself. It's been a time of several significant and utterly avoidable failures, most tragically, of course, the unwillingness to respect facts and science and do everything that can be done to save lives during a pandemic. It has been a time where truth and fact were treated with disdain. It is a time of cruelty where official inhumanity, such as child separation, became the official shameful policy of the United States. But now the Trump presidency is coming to an end. To an end. With so many squandered opportunities and ruined potential, but also an era of just plain meanness. It must be said, to paraphrase President Ford, for tens of millions of our fellow Americans, their long national nightmare is over. Fire Fauci. It's all part of the president's campaign strategy to deny the seriousness of the virus. His son even denies the dead bodies. The president undermining healthcare experts, holding events where the virus has literally been spread. Incredibly reckless. The nation, of course, is on edge as the United States prepares to pick its president, President Trump. Also defending behavior today by some of his supporters whose caravan, the Biden campaign says, surrounded a Biden bus on the highway in Texas and attempted to slow the bus down and run it off the road, the Biden campaign says. The incident is being investigated by the FBI, so we do not really have any definitive idea of what happened or who did it beyond the viral videos out there, but the president is backing his supporters as patriots who did nothing wrong. Perhaps the most worrisome development of all, however, President Trump is now signaling that he may very well prematurely and falsely declare victory on election night. A Trump advisor tells CNN, even if votes are still being counted and the outcome of the election is unclear. One of the president's top campaign aides Sunday seemed to refer to the normal process of counting vote by mail or absentee ballots as, quote, stealing the election, which, of course, it is not. President Trump has denied that he has plans to prematurely declare victory, but he is openly threatening legal action to stop the counting of legally cast vote-by-mail ballots in places such as Pennsylvania. Democrats have disproportionately voted by mail and early voting during the pandemic, so we should note that. This seems, therefore, a clear attempt to disenfranchise voters who may not be Trump voters. So I'm sure it worked with the MAGA bubble because they think that anybody that expresses affection for their son or empathy for someone they don't know is weak. But I think that's what it's indicative of. President Trump lives in an atmosphere of disinformation, false information, reinforcing itself. And that's why some of the punches he threw at Joe Biden, I don't think landed, because unless you were Sean Hannity, you probably had no idea what he's talking about. The president, even though he leaned into it a little bit, but he didn't really go full bore, which I think was wise, or at least not stupid. He is running the single most negative, sleazy campaign in American history for a major party candidate. The campaign that Trump and his allies in the media and his members of his family and the Trump allied websites and such are leveling with charges so heinous, I'm not even going to say them. Just nonsense, crap, tied into QAnon, tied into Pizzagate, tied into the worst things you could say about a person with no evidence, just completely made up, is so disgusting and so beneath what this election should be. And I just want viewers at home to be ready, because all of their grandparents' Facebook feeds and all of the Twitter sphere, and it's going to be so heinous over the next 11 days. And people should just be prepared for it. The president leaned into some of it, generally just some of the sleazier, baseless accusations, not the worst. But it's going to get a lot worse.